Hello and welcome to my channel On the Hook Crochet, where we talk about wearable crochet style like this, and we also talk about knitting and diamond painting. So if those are of interest to you, please stay with me and we'll talk about all those things here in just a minute. I want to welcome all of my members, my subscribers, my email listers, and my viewers, everyone to my channel. Thank you so very much. Subscriber list is growing quite a bit and I am so thankful for that. Thankful to you for watching my channel and for commenting on my channel, for buying my patterns and my gifts. All of those things I appreciate, because we have no mid-roll ads, because I don't like to be interrupted either in person or on my videos. So I hope you enjoy that part of my video channel. I don't interrupt your viewing pleasure. So hopefully you will continue to stay with me. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today I have crocheting WIPS, knitting WIPS. I have a new pattern that I'm rolling out. I'm doing lots of things today, so I hope you enjoy this video. First of all, I had a beautiful thank you note from Lori from Tennessee, and she put she sent a beautiful hummingbird to me on paper. Really appreciate that, Lori. And she's thanking me for a gift that I sent to her. She won one of the giveaways. So thank you, Lori, for sending that. Now, as I have been doing for the last few videos, answering questions from my comments. So thank you all for sending in your questions. I welcome all the questions you want to send in. I'll answer all of them on the next video. So first of all, from Brenda Hallmark, who always sends me a question, which I'm appreciative of. Thank you, Brenda. How do you manage all your activities, she asks. And do you schedule your time to get to all your WIPs each day or every other day? Any time management tips? Well, now that I'm retired from the corporate world, I have lots and lots of time. And I appreciate that time. I put in a lot of time in my career for 40 years of working, and so now I'm retired and I'm able to do what I love. And what I love is to crochet, and now I love to knit as well, and also diamond paint. So I've picked up some other hobbies and I enjoy doing those. So what I do every day, I usually knit, which is mindless for me because I'm not doing color work or anything like that. Yeah, I'm a total beginner knitter. So I knit during our prayer time. For Mr. On the Hook and I have a little prayer time today, and every day I knit during that time because I don't have to think too much. And then after breakfast, I have about an hour and a half, and I crochet on my WIPS, my crochet WIPS. And I think you saw on the thumbnail, Crystal's wearing another WIP that I'm working on. I've been ripping and whipping all week. I've been ripping out that sweater, but I'm going to persevere and finish that and write the pattern for it as well. It's a winter sweater, crocheted, very beautiful, but I'm having to work extra hard on it because there's just so much I need to tell you in the pattern. So in order to not have to put sizes in the pattern, and I'll tell you that right now, I don't size my patterns. Every pattern I do is with measurements. You take your measurements and you crochet to your measurements. You do not crochet to a size. Nobody fits into a size perfectly. Everybody does every now and then. I guess you should say that. But not everybody fits into a pattern. And to be successful in your crocheting and knitting, you have to have some idea of what it's going to look like after you finish. So if you crochet to your measurements, or knit, I guess. I don't have any of those yet. If you crochet to your measurements, the article will fit you perfectly. What size you are now, not 5 pounds ago or 10 pounds in the future. It'll fit you right now, which is when you want it to fit. So when you make your crocheted item, it will fit you. I'm not talking about scarves and all that, but I'm talking about sweaters, which is one of my specialties: cardigans, vests, sweaters, things like that, that you can crochet very easily. And my patterns are very easy to understand. They're written in plain language, so you don't have to wonder what I mean when I tell you to do something. I tell you 2 or 3 different ways to make sure that you understand it. I also give you tips in my patterns so that you'll know what my thoughts are when I was writing that part of the pattern. So if you had a question about it, maybe I could answer it in the tips section. So all of those things are about my patterns on the Hook Crochet. So you can find my patterns on Etsy, on Amazon, on my website, and I'll talk more about that later during my shop update. But right now, I just wanted to tell Brenda, and I went off on a tangent about that. After lunch, I have about 2 or 3 hours, and Mr. On the Hook, I'll just tell you this in confidence, Mr. On the Hook does all the housekeeping and the cooking, because I did it for 40 years. And he is such a guy. He's going to take that over. So he's learning to cook, and he's doing a great job. His meals are awesome. I don't even have to go in the kitchen. And his housekeeping is great. He vacuums and he cleans and he scrubs. So he does all that for me. And I spend my time crocheting, knitting, and diamond painting. And so then I'm able to do my videos, and he spends his extra time working on my website. So that's kind of what we do. And then we have a few little snacks. We might watch a little TV in the afternoon. And I also crochet during that time if I can manage it without trying to rip out everything. I do. And then from 7 to 9 in the evening, I diamond paint, and he works on the website again. So all these things we do. And then at night or in the afternoon, if I'm not working on crochet, I will be writing a pattern. And I sit at my desk and I write patterns, and I erase, and I write more patterns. So I do a lot of erasing and ripping out, but that's what it is when you're a designer. You have to do that in order to get the pattern or the prototype just right. So thank you, Brenda, for that question. It was a way for me to help y'all understand how I come to my videos every Friday. I spend most of the week arranging the video, and I have paper and pen, and I write down what things I want to talk about on Friday. So Deborah Color asks, thank you, Brenda, for that question. Deborah Color asks, what are the dimensions of your beanie cowl, length and width? Okay, I have 3 cowls I want to show you. One is knit, and this is one I made last year, and I showed it on my channel. I think it was last week. But I wanted to show you this because it's made in a big circle. See, there's a circle here. There's a circle, and just like it's a cowl. And I cast on this many and knit back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until I had the length. And so what this is 9.5 inches this way and 28 inches the long piece. And then I sew that up. So it's really 14 inches this way. And this is how you wear it over your head like this. I did this last week, I think, messed my hair all up. But this is how you put it over your head. And there is a seam in here, but I just put it in the back. I'm not worried about that. But I did knit this in Malabrigo yarn. Beautiful yarn. I think it was a DK. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. I show this every week, it seems like. I'm real proud of it, and I love it. I love it very much. But then I designed a crocheted cowl called the beanie cowl. I released that, I think it was last week. And this one is the green prototype that I made to go on the front of my pattern, and it's 26 inches in length the long way, and you're crocheting the whole length, and then you're crocheting it to this length, which is this is like a width 11 inches this way. So you crochet till you have 11 inches of rows. Okay, y'all understand what I'm saying? So you crochet the long width, which is 26 inches. So it ends up being 13 inches wide. See? Wide. And you wear it like this. Wear it over your head like that. I hope I'm being clear enough on that. That was kind of bumfuzzled. And then I made another one out of a cotton linen yarn. And this one is a little bit smaller this way. And it is 24 inches in length the long way. And then you seam that up. And it's 9 inches wide, so it's 9 inches right here. So you actually crochet to 9 inches in rows. Okay, you crochet this way. Let me hold it up. You crochet it this way until you have 9 inches of rows. And those rows are the row pattern that I give you in the pattern. It has the beanie row and all that in there. So those are the answers to your questions, Deborah. So thank you for that. Kathy Winter says, will the gold sweater be available as an Amazon booklet? Yes, it will. The gold sweater, I'm going to show that today. I'll work on that with y'all and show you what I'm doing on that. And that will be available on Etsy, the website, and also as a printed Amazon booklet. So be looking for that. I'll let you know when that comes out. Karen Smith says, could you add a zipper bag option in purple? We are looking for one. Mr. On the Hook is on the prowl for a purple zippered bag, and we may find one, we may not, but we are looking for one. And I wish I could offer a purple, but right now we have turquoise blue and ivory white and another color, heather gray, which has been very popular. So I'm pretty short on those. If you're looking for a heather gray zippered project bag, I have those. Mary Cleage, Mary, what inspired you to start your YouTube channel? Well, I'm not going to make this a long story, but my daughter, who is an adult child of mine, she was going to start a YouTube channel about being a stay-at-home mother, because she was for many years. And she just didn't feel like she had the time. But before she told me that, I had bought her a circle light and some other items to help her get started on her YouTube channel, because I was real excited for her. I had no idea what that meant, a YouTube channel, but I looked it up and I saw that you had to have a light and you had to have a camera and all that business. So I bought her all that, and she decided she didn't want to do it. So I grabbed all that and took it home because she didn't want it. I brought it home and I thought, you know what, I want to try making a video and just see how hard it is. And I'm just going to do my crochet. I'm going to do that. So I did that, and it just progressed, and it was so much easier to do because I had a lot of things I was working on, a lot of things I had worked on and wanted to talk about. And so I did a couple of YouTube videos, and I thought, you know, I'm just going to start a YouTube channel. I did a couple of videos, and so I released them on YouTube, and Mr. On the Hook was very supportive, and my daughter was as well. And so it just went on from there. And I started in 2019. Then COVID made its appearance, and so a lot of people were staying home and crocheting and knitting and doing things like that. So they were avid watchers of my YouTube channel, and that's when I obtained a lot of my subscribers, was back in 2020, and y'all have been with me ever since. So I really appreciate that. Y'all are great. Y'all are just great. So that's what inspired me to start my YouTube channel. Thank you, Mary, for that question. Alice Kentish, Alice Kentish, I think that's how you pronounce it. How does Jeannie hang her sweaters? What does she use to wash her sweaters? Okay, I hang my sweaters on two different kinds of sweater hangers. I have these right here. I have a padded hanger, and these are called bridal hangers. You can get them on Amazon. They're quite beautiful. And if you just have a few crocheted pieces, these are so beautiful to hang them on. And you just pull up the shoulders on here. Don't let them hang too much. You want to pull up the shoulders, like on this vest. I would pull the whole shoulder up here close to the hanger so that it doesn't pull and stretch out. But I haven't had any trouble with them stretching out on this. I've had them hanging up on these for several years, some of my older prototypes, and they're just fine. So that is one way. Also, I found these on Amazon, and they're made with this kind of a velvety fabric. And they come in different colors. They're not all pink, but I thought pink was a neat color because it's the color of my logo. And so I'm just hanging everything on these, and they also take up less room. See, they take up a lot less room than that. So when I'm hanging them up, I'm very appreciative of this, and I'll probably be ordering some more of these. I have they come in sets of maybe 12, and I ordered one set just to see if I like them, and I do. I love them very much. And this also rotates, so if you hang it up wrong and you want everything to hang up the same way, you can turn this around. And the bridal hangers are the same way. So that is how I hang up my sweaters. And thank you for that question, Alice. Thank you so very much. Okay, so the title of this particular video is a pattern release of the olive pullover vest, and that's what I'm wearing today in red. I've worn this before. This is one of my favorite pieces in my wardrobe. It really is. I made it with City Tweed, which is this, City Tweed. It's a DK weight, and I just love the fabric that this made. I love the fabric. It's very, very soft and squishy, and it's wool, so it has a nice warmth to it, but it's not hot. I don't feel hot in this at all. And I also made a green one out of Malabrigo, and I made another version out of strawberry jam. I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to stand up and show you this, and then I'm going to show you a couple of others that I made. So I made it 3 different ways, and the pattern shows you each of those 3 ways how to make the olive pullover vest. So let's stand up and I'll show you what this looks like. So this is my red City Tweed romance color. It's called Bad Romance. I don't understand that colorway, but it's made with that colorway and City Tweed DK, and I always order that from Knit Picks. You can also order it from other companies. Just write in Google City Tweed DK, and a lot of places will come up, so you don't have to order it from Knit Picks. Also, I bought velvet buttons to put on the front of this. I love them. It is sewn closed, and then I sewed the buttons on this. Now you can also make it with buttons that actually go through buttonholes, and I explained to you how to do that as well in the pattern. Today I'm wearing this with a black turtleneck and with some casual jeans and some black trainers. So I'm running errands this afternoon, and so that's why I'm dressed like this. This is going to be perfect for the weather today. It's going to be in the low 60s, maybe approaching 50s, I don't know. And it should be pretty easy to wear without a coat. So that's why I'm wearing this today. Now I have two other versions of this. Well, the buttonhole version for one, but one other one that is sewn together is this one. And this is the original prototype that I made. I'll step up here and show this to you. This is Malabrigo yarn, and I sewed this together in the front, and then I sewed buttons on it. But you could easily put buttonholes in this. I explained that in the pattern, how to do that. And this is the back. As you can see, now I made a mistake on this, and I always tell you my mistakes. As you can see, this was another, I'll step back so you can see it. This is another hank of the same color. And since I crochet this all the way around, the whole bottom is done in that lighter color. And I think you can probably see it on camera. I didn't see it at first. When I was working on it, it looked just like the other one, the other hank. And when I started working on this, I realized it was lighter. And at the time I realized it, I was already almost done with the with the vest. So I just let it fly, and it's okay. I doubt anybody will say that. It may look like I even planned it with a little bit of a lighter bottom on it. I don't know. But anyway, that is one of the olive vests. I made this quite a bit longer than I made the red one, as you can see. Let me get this over here. It's quite a bit longer, maybe 3 inches longer than the red vest. So that is one of the vests that I made. This is the second vest. And then the third vest I made was in the Strawberry Jam. I love this yarn by Hobby Lobby, and it just meets in the front. The ribs don't cross over each other. It just meets in the front. So I put ties on the front of it. I think I've shown this before, but there are 3 black ties on the front, and I did a contrast color on this one as well. I didn't do that on the others. So I went around the sleeve, I went around the bottom, and I went up and down the front and around the back. So with the contrast color, and that toned it down just a little bit, although it's pretty loud. This is a loud vest, and I wore it to church last week, but I had some compliments on it, so I don't know why. It's just kind of a wild stripy vest, and that's because of the yarn, not anything I did. But I kind of like it now. It's a little bit heavy, but I made it quite a bit bigger than the other 2 vests. See, this vest is much bigger. It's got a lot of ease in it. And if it had been in a DK or something a little bit lighter, it'd have a little more drape, but it's got some drape to it. I washed it and dried it, and it has some drape to it. So I wore it, again, I'll say it, I wore it, and everybody seemed to like it. So those are the 3 versions of the olive vest, and I hope you like it. It's the olive pullover vest, and I'm releasing it today on my Etsy and on my website, so you can find it there. Mr. On the Hook has also published this in a booklet form like these. This is a booklet form like that. He's published it. I don't have a copy of it right now, but here's a picture of the front. And if you're looking for it, it's out there. It's called Olive's Pullover Vest, and it's available on Amazon as well. So I'll put the links to all 3 places down in the description box for you so you can find it. Now let's talk about diamond painting. Just for a moment, I'm going to show you the progress I've made on my Meeting on the Turret Stairs by William Burton. I will show you that right now. Now let's take a very quick look at our diamond painting, and I moved quite a bit up here. I've unrolled the bottom so you can see the bottom along with what I've done, and my part is right up here, and I'm working right there, if you can see that. I've finished all of this along here, and now I'm up here in this section, and I'll focus in on that. I just have a few holes in this one, not very many at all, and I'll be finished with that tonight. I'll move over, and I have a few here too as well, and I'll move over to this square, then I'll have another square or two there, and then I will be on the next row up where I'll be working on her beautiful gown right here, and also on his overcoat is right here. It's red. I'm not quite there yet. I'm almost there, but it actually, his shoes are kind of reddish that match his red coat, so I think that is so interesting. The beautiful painting, meeting on the turret stairs, and I'm just real excited to get this much done. It's been such a joy to work on. It is not easy, but you know, usually those are the ones that you hang up and you go, I can't believe I did that. Because all the colors that are in here, you can see that it's not just a solid blue. And these are actually different colors of blue. Some of them are more sparkly, and some are different colors. There's a different color from there and there. They're all mixed in here. And so it's not the easiest painting to do, but it is very rewarding when you get finished and get it framed, get it on the wall, and you go, I did that. I can't believe I did that. So anyway, that's my progress so far this week on Meeting on the Turret Stairs by Wendell and Burton. I hope you enjoyed that. I am working on that every single night. So I hope to finish that in the next 2 or 3 months, hopefully. I can finish it. It'll be fun. We'll have a good time with the diamond painting. So there's one in timeout back here too that I will finish after I finish this Meeting on the Turret Stairs. This is sponsored by Jade at Jaded Gem Shops. She is a offer code for my viewers. It says on the hook, and you get 20% off any purchase you make in her shop. So be sure to use that if you are interested at all in diamond painting. She has some cool things out there, some off-the-wall things, some cool, really nice things out there that you can choose from. So let's talk about WIPS. I've got several WIPS I want to get to, but first I want to show you this one. This is the one I showed you last week. This is my top-down sweater. I'm just about to name it. I don't know what I'm going to name it yet, but I'll be naming this, and it has the rib at the top, which was kind of nice. It fit the sweater very, very well, and it's finished all the way to the bottom. I'm finished that, and I don't think I'm going to put a rib on it because I put a rib on it for about this far, just like this one, and I hated it. I did not like the way it looked. It flipped out. I wasn't interested in that. I used a smaller hook, just like y'all might tell me to do, and it didn't work. This is a J hook right here. J hook is a 6.0 millimeter, and I dropped back to an I hook, which is 5.5 millimeter, and it was not small enough, and I just didn't want to spend any more time on that rib. I didn't like the way it looked. I might just finish this off with some rows of single crochet or half double, or I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I don't think it's going to be rib. Now I put rib on the sleeves, and I finished one sleeve, and this was a rip out extravaganza. I crochet it, rip it out, crochet it, rip it out. So I finally have it right. I think it's about right for my arm size right there. And you'll have the opportunity to do the same thing when you get the pattern. And I've decreased it enough to where it fit me pretty well at the bottom. So I decreased it all around here. I started with 3 at the top, and I think there were 2 under here, or 3 down here, and 3 up here, something like that. And then the next row I had some, and I'll put all that in the pattern if you want to do it just like mine. Or you can use a formula like every 3rd stitch decrease on one row, and then 5 rows later every 3rd stitch, or something like that. I'll give you some suggestions in the pattern. But I did put a rib at the bottom. I don't like this rib. I'm almost ready to rip it out because it's not laying flat enough for me, and I like I have a small wrist, as you can see, and I don't want this big old rib sitting on it, so I'll probably rip that off of it as well. So maybe a while before I finish this sweater, but I'm going to get it right. I want to get it just right because I love the way crochet looks from the top down. It's beautiful. It's very easy to make too. I made it extremely easy, so these are evenly placed. There are no stitch counts at all. You just crochet to your measurements. Now, I told you last week this armhole was big, and the other one's just as big. I didn't change the armhole at all. But what I'm going to do here is what I did over here, I believe. Yes, if you can see these stitch markers right along here, I decreased every 3rd stitch a stitch. See, there's 1 stitch and then 2 stitches, 1 stitch and then 2 stitches. And I did that all the way from one end to the chain to the other because I felt like it needed to be pulled in, and it did. It looks much, much better. So I'll be doing that here. I also decrease up here, 3 here, and I don't think anywhere else on the first row. Maybe so. I'll have to go back and look. I have written the pattern for it. And then probably, let's see, this is a just a double crochet. I'm sorry, this whole thing is done in double crochet. If you don't know, I love this yarn, and it's called Swede Dijon, S-W-E-E-D Dijon, D-I-J-O-N. And I don't know why, but that's the color of it. It's a beautiful mustard color. I like the color. I'm just about to be tired of looking at it though, because I've done a whole sweater in it. But I plan to make another sweater out of something soft and that I can whip right through it and not be ripping out so much, because I've ripped out so much. I'm just almost tired of it, but I won't be too tired to write the pattern. I will write the pattern and I will get it right. So what do y'all think about that? Would I just I'll probably just do some rows of single crochet or something around the bottom if I don't get it right. Or I may use the crochet rib where you crochet a double crochet row and then you crochet front and back, front post, back post, alternating all the way around, and then you stack the stitches going down. And that does not make it flare out like this. And I know it's probably just I'm not good at it. I don't know. I don't usually use the this kind of rib, but I do like it up here. It did turn out beautifully at the top. Let me get Crystal over here so you can see her. It did turn out really nice up here. I really like that. It's beautiful. And it fits nicely around the neck. It's not too low, not too high. So thank you, Crystal. Give her a little push and she's out of the picture. So that was my first WIP I wanted to talk about. I have several others. Let's stay with crochet WIPs. So I have a crochet WIP I want to show you. This is in my heather gray. I didn't even think about this. I stole one of these, but it's got my embroidered logo on the front. This is what I introduced last week. These are zippered bags made by Port Authority. Really like this bag, and I stole one and I decided I was going to use it for my Fifi blanket. So here is my Fifi blanket. Isn't it beautiful? I really love the way it's so easy to crochet. This is totally a TV crochet until you get to the end. You have to make sure you do the right thing at the end of the round, but other than that, it's very beautiful. It's turned out really nicely. Look at the pretty stitches in there. Looks really great. And this is a pattern or tutorial from Juan the Yarn Addict. I think he has a pattern out there as well. And I just used the tutorial. Very, very nice. It stays square. Super duper. And I just work on this when I have some TV time. And I grab some yarn out of my stash and I just put it on there. I don't worry about too much about the colors that I'm using because they all look so beautiful together. I don't know why, but against the whites, I'm doing 2 rows of color and 2 rows of white. And so the white just kind of settles down those colors, and I try to make a darker or lighter color, alternate those. But other than that, I'm not really doing anything special with the colors on that, but it looks really pretty. And then another WIP I have going on, and this is in one of my bags. It's just a wildflower color, and it's mostly red, and so the handles are red too. I really like that. I started this week and I am getting close to finishing it. It's a very simple vest. So I have this stitch mark together at the top, at the shoulders, and it's going to be a harvest vest, and I'm going to call it the Hearthside vest because it's a pretty name. I like that name, and it reminds me of a fireplace. And so it's just a vest. It's nothing extravagant, and it's going to be a beginner pattern, but it is very pretty. I like it. And here I've turned it inside out again or something. Here we go. Here we go. It's like this, okay? And I mean, it's going to have edging on it, so it will be closer in the front together. It's a beautiful yarn, and I got this from Amazon, I believe, and it was sent from Lion Brand, so it was really, I'm buying it from Lion Brand. But it's a number 5 bulky, and it's called Homespun, y'all. If you've been crocheting for any length of time, you probably know what this is. It's Homespun yarn by Lion Brand. This particular color is Painted Desert, very beautiful. I had a hard time picking a color because they're all so beautiful, but that's what the colors are in there. It's kind of a yellowish green, maybe, and a little bit of a orange, burnt orange, blue. There's some beautiful colors in here, and when you start crocheting it, it's super nice. And I'm doing this with, I believe I'm doing it with an MN hook, which is no, I think I'm using a 12 millimeter. I think I'm using a 12 millimeter hook. You can experiment however you want to do it. It's not a difficult pattern at all. I'm going to be writing it. It'll be pretty easy. You let the colors do your work for you. See how it looks when it's crocheted up. Look how beautiful that is. If you get one where the colors aren't extremely different from each other, that keeps it from looking so striped. That's my advice for the week. Be sure that you buy one where the stripes are not crazy stripes like that strawberry jam. Now, one of my viewers decided she would make a hat out of the strawberry jam, and here's a picture of her, Pat Wagner. She was, I don't know if she went to buy it or had it in her stash, I don't know, but she made a cloche out of it, C-L-O-C-H-E. That is a French word for bell, and it's shaped kind of like a bell hat. It's very pretty. I like it. Pat, very nice. And then I had someone else send me something, another viewer, and I'll get her name here right just one second. Now on to my WIP knits, my works in progress that are knitted. Yes, I'm working on 2 projects, and here's one. This is the same as the cowl I showed you earlier in the video. This is very similar to it. It's just a different yarn than the Malabrigo. I had the Malabrigo cowl I showed you, and this is the Yarn Bee, soft and sleek, DK, beautiful, beautiful yarn, very squishy, super duper, and it's Irish Spring is the name of it. I got it at Hobby Lobby, and Hobby Lobby is some beautiful yarns. I like them. Since Joanne is gone defunct, I really kind of fall back on Hobby Lobby because they have a large yarn department. I don't feel like Michael's has that, but I do plan to go to Michael's very soon and check out their Joanne department if they have one at my Michael's. I don't know that. I'm using a size 6 needle for this. This is kind of my own pattern, but it's not really a pattern, but it is kind of a pattern. All right, another WIP knit I have is made with, this is a new acquisition. This is mandala, beautiful mandala, and this is the colorway Groot, G-R-O-O-T, and the colorway that was used in Fiberflux is Finally Fall Shawl, and she just now produced it. It's for beginner knitters. If you're a beginner knitter and you can knit and you can cast on, and she actually shows you how to do that, and if you can bind off, which she actually shows you how to do, you can make one of these shawls. It's really pretty. It's just a big V, and on each side is a little hole detail, and I'll show you this. I bought this and I started it and I hated it because I made so many mistakes. I'll show you my mistakes because it's embarrassing enough to make them, but I wanted to show them to you because you may make the same ones. I've already pulled this off the needles and I'm going to just rip it off, but I wanted to stop and show it to you. This is what it looks like. Look at this mess that I made right here. A terrible mess. And I looked at that and I thought, and look at this. I don't know what that is. Just goes out like that. I saw that and I thought, there is no way I'm going to continue working on this. I can't fix it with a needle and yarn. So I'm going to just call it a day. And right there, that's got to go right there. And I didn't want to back up because it's hard for me to do that. And I get very frustrated when I'm trying to tink, which is backwards to knit. So I'm just going to rip it out like that, and I'll do that later today and get rid of that. I love this colorway though. It is so gorgeous. Look at those colors. And when you look at her tutorial, and I think you should, I'll put a link to it down in the description box. If you go to her tutorial and she shows you the final shawl, it is absolutely gorgeous. That's one reason that I wanted to do this. And then so I went out on the web, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna buy another cake of that because I just want to make two. And at the time I was all fired up, I was going to make two, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to make one, and I'm going to make it out of this yarn right here. This is the same yarn. It's mandala. See, it's mandala, and the colorway is Griffin. Griffin is the colorway. So beautiful. Look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous too, and I love the purple in the middle, and start out with purple, so I kind of got excited about that. So I have started it, and I have done a pretty good job with this. See, this has not got a lot of egregious mistakes in it. Let me get it back here where you can see it. Turn it this way and lay it down. Look at that. Okay, my second time, I was very, very careful. I wasn't watching TV, and I went right by the tutorial with Jennifer is her name, and this is what it looks like. So see, turned out pretty nice. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I can get this much done. So I'm already up about 6 inches, and the whole thing up here is 24 inches this way on this measurement, but it keeps getting bigger, so it will take a lot more yarn. And I have a whole, she says she just used one cake, so I thought one cake, I can do that. And I also I started out with a size 9 on that on the Groot colorway, size 9 needles. And they were too big. Honestly, the yarn was kind of slipping around on them, so I dropped back to an 8. So I'm using an 8 knitting needle right here. And these are the Chaigu needles. I have a link to those down in the description as well. The exact ones. There are about 50 of these things, different ones, different lace links. These are the cords that you get, that you tie on to the ends of the needles. The cords, some of them are 30 inches, some of them are 22, some are 16. And I really like that there's plenty of variety with that. So I bought the whole set. I figured if I was going to knit, I'll just buy these. Now, they don't stick like bamboo or something like that because they're very, very slick. They're very, very slick. And so you have to be careful to hold on to your stitches when they're on the needles, not to be messing around with them because they come right off the needles. They're real slick, but they are easier to knit with, I think. For me, they're easier to knit with. So, and I'm forcing myself to use them because all the really good knitters use needles like that, or those, one or the other. So I'm working my way through this knitting journey, and it's been fun. I've really enjoyed it, but I just, look at that. That is so beautiful. It's a DK weight, actually. It's DK weight, and it's acrylic. So it's not wool, which is my preference, really, but wool is really expensive, and as many mistakes that I make, wool isn't always a good choice. Something expensive. But I do love the colors in this, and there are plenty of acrylic yarns that are absolutely gorgeous. So, and that's one example, and the Groot is the other example. So those are my knit WIPs, and I'm progressing pretty well with those. Not too bad. I'm doing okay. I feel like I'm doing pretty well with the knit WIPs. So I'll progress. I'll learn how to do some more things later, but if you're just starting to knit, you'll understand it. You need lots of practice. And practice is good like that shawl because you can learn to knit a lot. I mean, you're going to knit thousands of stitches on that, so you'll be pretty good at it when you finish up. And I'm an English thrower. I throw the yarn around and just wrap it around one finger and grab it with the rest, and I throw it around, and it works well for me. I'm not into the continental yet. Eventually, I'd like to learn how to do that, but right now, I'm just lucky to get the stitch onto the needle, if you understand what I mean. So you knitters, be patient with me. I'm coming along, and I've made quite a few little sweaters that were just, 2 squares. I've done that, and I've done some dishcloths. So I have a little bit of practice. So I wanted to make sure that I could do that shawl, and it looks like I'm going to be okay. Now, a quick shop update before we do our giveaways. We have published this. This is the Outlander Crochet Pattern Collection. Mr. on the Hook has been a busy bee, and he has this out on Amazon. And these are the 3 patterns that I made by the Outlander show, and I don't watch every episode. I really haven't watched a whole lot of it, but I do love the fashions, and the knit fashions are absolutely gorgeous. And so I made the Outlander shawl, there it is right there, the Outlander cape right there, and the Outlander cowl. And all those I had actually seen on the show. I went to certain ones and I looked at them, and I've created these patterns, and Mr. On the Hook put these in a collection for you. So you can find these out on Amazon. I'll put a link to the description down there, a link in the description. And then a scarf crochet pattern. He thought these would be pretty. He picked these out, actually. He did a pretty good job. But anyway, there's several scarf patterns in here, and also the Parisian scarf is in here too. So I thought you'd enjoy having that for winter gifts, if you want to make some gifts. This is an awesome little book, and it's the Scarf Crochet Pattern Collection. And there'll be a link to this down in the description box as well. Now, the olive pattern is out there in booklet form as well, and it was a 15-page Etsy pattern, and on the website it's 15 pages. If you want to print it, you are welcome to do so. It takes about 8 pages front and back, 15 just front. Or you can buy the booklet on Amazon, and you might save some money doing that. And you have it in your hand. You can put it in your library. You can just know where it is all the time and not have it packed away somewhere or folded up and put it in a project bag, which is what I end up doing a lot of the time. I don't hold on to my patterns until I have one of these, and then I can use it on my own. And sometimes I'll make 2 or 3 of the prototype, just like I do on the pattern. I'll make 2 or 3 more, just like I did on the olive pullover vest. So I would have to put the pattern into the project bag, and it didn't work out so well. I lost it a couple times. So anyway, we also have these, and I showed these earlier in the program, but these are the zippered project bags, and we only have a few left. This is the On the Hook embroidered logo on the front. It's really pretty, and the zipper is very convenient. I love the zipper. And there are pockets on the outside where you can put knitting needles, crochet hooks. You can put a bottle of water out there, or your big phone. It fits a big phone. So they're very convenient to have, and I've sold quite a few of these. So if you're interested in one, you may want to go out there and see about it. It's On the Hook project bag, zippered project bag. And you can find these on my website and also on my Etsy shop. Now, if you want to buy one, there is an offer code called ZIP20, and you can get on the zippered project bag, you can get 20% off if you use that offer code, either on the website or on my Etsy shop, either one. So be sure to do that if you're inclined to get one, or get one for a friend. You definitely want to do it pretty soon, because we're going to run out. We did last time pretty quickly. We ran out of project bags, and we don't want to do that this close to Christmas. So if you're interested in having one, please be sure to take care of that right away. So now let's talk about giveaways. Love giveaways, love, love, love. And this week, I'm giving away 3 brand new to you, and they haven't been opened by me much, just 1 page. These 3 Crochet World magazines will go to 3 different people today that use the words October, August, and I think it was December. August, October, and December in your comment from last week, and I saw a lot of those come through, so I hope y'all signed up for these. There are a ton of patterns in each one of these, which you would know if you've ever received one or bought one. Crochet World is an awesome magazine, and I hope they don't get rid of it. I really love to get these in the mail, and I usually turn right around and give them away when I do, but I had a whole stash of these, so I'm going through them and I'm giving them away. And these are from 2020. I believe all of them are, yes, these are all from 2020. So there you go. I hope you signed up for these, and we're going to give these away here in just a minute. So let's turn the camera to the computer and find out who wins these 3 Crochet Worlds this week. Here we are at the computer, and I already have put the video address at the top, and down here we're going to find out how many comments we had that had the word August in them, the word August. So that's where we're going with this one. Okay, there's 65 of y'all, and we'll start to find out who wins the August Crochet World magazine this week. The August Crochet World magazine from 2020, but there's still beautiful patterns in there. Chantal in 1ZH, whatever that is, I don't know, but she put her letters in there, so we've got her down here. Chantal IN1ZH. So Chantal, thank you for entering and congratulations on winning that. Now let's change this to October. So we're going to move our hand over here. October. October. There we go. October. That's spelled right. I don't know why it's got a little line under it. Okay, let's find out how many comments were there. It's about the same number. All right, so let's find out who wins the October 2020 Crochet World today. Here we go. And the winner is Judy Bagby, K5, Judy Bagby, K5I, Judy Bagby, K5I. Congratulations, Judy, and let's go over here and type in the last word, and the last word is December. D-E-C-E-M-B, December. So we've typed in that word. Let's go down here and get our comments. Go over here, find out who wins the December version or issue of Crochet World from 2020. December issue, and that would be W.K. Johnson 1. W.K. Johnson 1, you are the winner of the December Crochet World magazine. Congratulations to all of our winners. Congratulations to our winners. I hope you won one. If you didn't, keep signing up. I'm sure you will eventually win something, because a lot of my viewers, I see their name every now and then, they'll come up and they're a winner because they watch all of my videos. And speaking of which, last week I had 3 gifts that I was giving away, and 2 of these have not been claimed, and I don't understand that. Y'all watch my videos every week as far as I can tell, and these 2 gifts were not claimed. So be sure to go back and watch my video. You might be a winner there, and be sure to let me know by email. And the winners of these 3 magazines, be sure to write me at this email address and tell me, put the word winner in the subject line. That way I can search and I can make sure that I'm not missing anybody. And if you claimed these, let me know, but I've already been to your actual names and I can't find an email. So be sure to send me an email to this address and winner in the subject line and what you won down in the body along with your name and address, and I will get those right out to you right away. Okay, so next week I have a really big gift, but first of all, let's have this one. This is a really cute little Crochet Nation that came in this week, and I love getting this. It's so cute. There's so many good patterns in here, and there's some really nice stories, and that's an amigurumi right there. So if you like to do amigurumi, there you go. But there are a lot of other patterns in here as well. As a crossword puzzle on there, all kinds of things in here to look at. So there are 8 patterns, and this is the issue number 10. So this is the October issue, and they were kind enough to, well, I paid for it. I paid for the subscription, so they were kind enough to send it to me. But anyway, this is going out to someone who writes the word nation in your comment down below. So be sure to comment on the video and use the word nation in your comment. And also, this is the biggie. I'm going through my books and I'm giving this away. I don't know. I kind of wondered why I was doing that, but I decided to go ahead and give it away. This is a book by Edie Ekman, and this is Connect the Shapes, Crochet Motifs. And in here are some gorgeous granny squares, circles, rectangles, stars, all kinds of triangles, all kinds of granny squares. Look at there. Those are just 2. And each page has a different granny square, the written instructions, and also the chart that you can go by. If you're a chart person, that's in here as well. Here's some other beautiful squares that are in here. Not really squares. Some of them are circles, some triangles. And it's a very thick book. I paid $20 for this, and I have not used it the first time because I'm just a busy bee. And there's a picture of Edie right there. Here's her picture, Edie Ekman. She's written so many books. It's amazing how many books she's written. And they're beautiful. There are 101 motif designs in here. So be sure to sign up for this. And you want to write the word Edie, E-D-I-E, right there. E-D-I-E, Edie, E-D-I-E, in your comment, and you'll be in the running for this beautiful, thick, wonderful crochet book. So be sure to sign up for that. Well, I hope you've had a good time today. I sure have. I've enjoyed doing this video, and I'm going to be flinging it out to you this afternoon, Friday afternoon. So I hope you'll be looking for it then. And I thank you so much for tuning in and for liking this video. That helps me a lot. If you just like the video or share it with a friend, it helps me a lot with the YouTube algorithm. They know that y'all liked it and you shared it, so it must be pretty good. So thank you for doing that. Thank you in advance for doing that. So I want you to join me next Friday to find out what's on the hook.